Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Conversations with Stephen Spingle. I'm your host, Stephen Spingle, and today I've got a very special guest. His name is Bob Spaggard, and he's the creator of Supercure, a pill which I'm sure you've all heard of that can cure any ailment, is what he says. This is a very interesting interview, and I'm excited to let you guys hear it. So let's get spingling. Hello, today I'm here with Bob Spaggard. Say hello, Bob.
Hello.
Um, yeah, so Bob has created his newest product, Super Cure, which he calls a world cure pill that will cure any disease. Could you say a bit more about that, please?
Yeah, Supercure. It's really a miracle drug. Any disease really can be defined in many terms. It can cure viruses,
Mm,
bacteria.
mm.
Uh, you know, it can cure malaria, even like conditions like cancer. But it also goes by
Wow.
what your mind considers a disease. So, uh, too honest, and you don't like that, you're not anymore.
Oh, okay.
Too lazy, gone. Now
So it's
you're
got like
productive.
a sort of customization to it. Would you say?
It is the ultimate cure all, I tell you.
Okay. Well, I've got a box of Super Cure right here. The
Yes.
label on the front says Supercure, spelled Supakure. And then the
Yeah.
tagline is the pill that will cure any ailment. And I've just noticed there's a little asterisk. Um, and I've just been looking around the box, and it doesn't actually lead to anything. There's just an asterisk.
Yes.
Oh, all right. And I'm okay. I'm looking on the back at the ingredients here, and there's only two, and it says it's 5% milk and 95% what's called super cure mix. Um,
Very, very secret formula.
right.
It took us months in the laboratory to come up with it.
Yeah. So we've took a look at it. We've got our own lab here. And we
Mhm.
took a look at super cure mix, and we found that it's just cow semen.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it works, doesn't it?
How how did you come up with this?
Well, right. One day, me and the boys sat in the
Hmm.
laboratory. We were trying to, big medical company. We, didn't figure in what is our next breakthrough. We thought milk is really good
Milk.
for you.
Yeah.
It strengthens the bones. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
that's
Yeah.
from a female cow. Yeah.
Hmm.
What if we took milk from a male cow? How good would that be? So,
Oh, yeah.
uh, we bought this prize winning bull, uh, and we drew sticks. Poor John, my co-worker John, he pulled the shortest stick, and he had to extract the milk, so to say. But we tested it. It works well. It works well. Not only does it strengthen bones, but it, strengthens your body and it removes any ailment. It's really a miracle.
Okay, so I can kind of see where you're coming from, to be honest. So you've got the mother's milk and the bull's cum, um, and
I
I'm
prefer to
guessing
call it life juice
life juice. Yeah, well, I guess it's
as a medical term, really.
medical. Yeah, okay. I'm not in the medical field myself. I'm in journalism, so I'm not going to judge you on that. So I'm guessing the combination here of man and woman makes stem cells. Maybe I'm not. I wasn't good at science.
Actually, if you we did this in the laboratory. Obviously, we were testing it. We wanted to see what
Hmm.
it looked like. If you zoom in on it with a microscope, it's actually millions upon millions of tiny baby cows that just eat the diseases and the ailments. And even
Right.
if it's a mental problem, they just eat, the neurons that are causing it. and then the body grows them back over time with a mixed due to the mixture of the life juice and the milk.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, okay. From that, I've got one. I've got a quite a big glaring question. You said you've got one prize bull. So
Well,
you're pushing
that's
out.
what we
You're sorry.
that's what we
You're pushing out over 300 million boxes per month. So in my
wow.
head, I've got this image of you sort of wanking off this cow. Um, how many times a day would that be? I don't even know.
Well,
How
of course, originally we did only have one prize winning bull. Obviously my company's purchased more now. We're up to 15, and we have a team of 6 staff for each bull, and it's basically non-stop. We injected steroids into the cow's testicles.
right?
Now they produce more on average. So, team of 6 constantly going at it. We produce
Only
roughly
six people. Wow.
50 liters. Yeah, per cow, obviously.
Oh,
But
right.
we produce up to 50 liters every 6 hours from each cow. So
Oh, wow. Okay. I've just thought, how do you stop it from going off?
we have walk-in freezers.
Wow. Okay. So you freeze the cow jizz.
We keep it at optimum temperature. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Same with milk. How milk spoils, you got to keep it. So we keep them around the same temperature.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So there's a bit of information on your website, www.supercure.ru, which I've just noticed is a Russian website, but okay. There's a bit of information, and it says how there are different uh, side effects for every disease that is trying to be cured. And there
Well,
is one named
um,
example. There's one named
mm,
example on here, the common cold, and the side
yeah.
effects are sneezing, stuffy nose, runny nose, sore throat, coughing, fever, and watery eyes. Um, are these the same effect? Because to me, it just seems like the side effects of the symptom are the exact same symptoms of the disease.
I'm sure on first glance it would appear to that, and that's probably the media team's fault for being too vague when discussing the side effects
Right,
on the website. But they're actually what we mean is very mild cold-like side effects towards your first dosage of the pill. Then slowly over time it fades away. Obviously, other diseases have different side effects, but it's the cows obviously can't all eat the disease straight away, especially not in the first time. So
right, yeah, okay. So, but have you considered trying to mitigate these side effects? Because some of the diseases have intense side effects, like Ebola has bleeding eyes, for example. That's one of them, among others, which also do just seem to be the symptoms of Ebola. But these people are dying from these side effects, and the side effects seem to be spreading to other people. Could you elaborate? And how does
well,
that work?
um, this was a bit of an in my field we call it an oopsie. We
Hmm.
may have messed up
That's a
on
business term, is it?
exactly. We may have messed up on a batch of Supercure back in the day, and it was tainted. I believe we used the same petri dishes to observe it as we did with the Ebola virus itself.
Right.
So they got mixed, and this batch, I suppose, is contaminated. We're obviously trying to halt the spread. Bad for business if people die. So we're working at stopping that.
Right. Yeah. So obviously these side effects are causing you a bit of financial trouble, legal trouble. Um,
Absolutely, yeah. The
yeah, I
lawsuits
can
do not
understand.
stop coming.
Yeah. How many sort of we'll say lawsuits, but any sort of legal inquiry or accusation. You know what I mean? How many are you getting per day?
Per day, we normally get 100 to 200, but most of those don't end up being taken to court because obviously the people die that have made the accusations.
Oh, they die before they
And
can even
weirdly,
get to court. Okay.
yeah, and it's not just them that dies. The lawyer that they contacted obviously gets the infection and dies as well. And one thing we noticed in laboratory testing is that when people die from this Ebola-like virus, all traces of Supercure and the virus itself disappear from the dead body. So it is curing them, just not while they're alive.
Um. So, so the places in the body where you're testing for this virus are they still in the body? Were they ever infected in the first place? Have they been amputated and you've tested it, for example?
Well, originally when we were first moving in, double blind trial, we obviously tested on mice. The mice had various diseases that we tested on. It seemed to work on those, and we moved up to human subjects and human cells and tissues. Obviously, uh, we did notice at first that some undiseased cells contracted the conditions as well, but over time, we learned to ignore it. For legal reasons, um, we can't use those batches. But in the starting process, I suppose a few of those may have made it through.
Right. Yeah. So so I have. This isn't the first interview I've done. It is the first spoken interview. Um, but related to Supercure, I have had emails with some people who've previously um, been tested after having diseases or ailments, as you call them, and then being examined to see the how well the pill works. And one of them told me that they had lung cancer, and they went to be tested through not through you, through your laboratory, and they apparently this isn't they got a needle and stuck it into the client's ear, um, extracted a bit of blood, and they they said that it's worked because there was no trace of the cancerous cells in the ear.
Well, as little known knowledge, but during the later stages of cancer treatment, all of the cells from the cancer actually work their way up the body. They're trying to escape the treatment, basically. So they go to the furthest area from where the treatment was. So with lung cancer, the cells would have migrated towards the ears, and that's why we took the blood sample from there.
Oh, right. That does explain it. To be fair, I've said before I'm not a medical expert. I don't know my stuff when it comes to this. But whatever you say goes in this interview. I'm gonna go with it when it comes to medical issues because I'm not gonna argue with it basically. Um, so okay, moving off from this topic. Um, there is it's become incredibly popular, and a lot of people are taking these pills. And I don't know if you've seen it, but there's been a rise in a new disease that Supercure can't seem to cure, called cow runs, and it seems that the symptoms are hot legs, copious amounts of sweat behind the ear, and uh, diarrhea. A lot of explosive diarrhea, and there's been theories that this is coming from the copious amount of cow semen that people have started consuming on a daily basis. What do you say about this?
Obviously, this I'm not gonna claim responsibility for this disease because it was never explicitly stated. We just assumed that everyone would know that you're not meant to take high quantities of pills every day, even for small ailments. These were supposed to be life changers. So
It doesn't say anything
uh,
about that on the box.
the name is Super Cure, and it can cure anything. So if you're using that for everything, what's the point in it?
It actually
You
says
don't
on the
need.
it actually says on the box, one portion equals one box.
Yeah,
Well, that contrasts with what you've just said.
but well, do you not know how the pills work? There's actually just two giant pills in the box.
Um, well, I've never used it. Let me open this up. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, there is just two giant pills. These are about the size of like the palm of my hand.
Yeah.
How
Well,
the
have you?
how is someone supposed to eat this or ingest this?
Well, you cut them in half.
Still, even a half, I wouldn't be able to swallow all this. I
Well,
mean, I would,
obviously you
but
take
I've
it
got
with water.
experience.
Obviously, you take it with water like any other pill. And moving back on to the original topic, the disease. We have looked into it, and we believe the reason Supergirl can't cure it is because um, the people have ingested that much cow semen that the microscopic cows that our product produces uh, been given enough time and space to effectively evolve and start seeking a way out of the body.
Okay, well, think I understand. So I've got one last topic, and then I can let you free. Um, so with the rise of Supercure and how popular it's become all over the world, you have obviously opened a theme park or multiple even related to
We have, yeah.
Supercure, and even a convention, SuperCon. Um,
Yeah.
how how did you think of going from giant pills to a theme park business?
Well, we got together in the board of directors, and we thought our pills they're making people very happy. They're increasing life expectancy. They're curing things, and
Pleasing the
what
people,
else
yeah.
makes people what else makes people happy? Theme parks and events of such manner. So we figured we may as well just take a slight dip into the entertainment and side of things.
Okay, well, about this theme park, there seems to be in the latest one that you've launched, the one in Grimsby. There seems to be no medical facilities there, which is odd for a medical company. And your side effects that keep on occurring with your pill are in huge variety and in huge quantity in these theme parks. How do you plan on tackling that? Are you going to introduce medical facilities anytime soon?
It's in the works. Uh, Obviously, it might have been an oversight in development of the theme park. It was not an intended result. So we're slowly working at introducing the medical facility there, but with the lawsuits coming in, it's hard to find the money to improve them.
Right, okay, so it's a financial problem that you've got.
In a word,
That was multiple words. But okay. Um, so one thing I'm sort of dubious on, I'm not sure really how this works. So you say you've got the financial issues, you can't launch a medical facility in any of these parks. However, you do seem to have the money to transport trucks upon trucks of what you call magic snow, super snow, sorry. And pouring it all over Super Winterland, which is obviously one section in your park. And this stuff seems to cost a lot, especially since it's again been tested. I know you must be tired of scientists running into your rogue scientists running into your park and taking samples, or taking samples from your pills, of course. But it's found to be
It is a problem. Yeah, we've had to have security lines assembled to check for anyone with petri dishes or pipettes or test tubes or any of the such on them before they enter.
well, yeah, and obviously this is becoming an increasing issue in the world with rogue scientists defecting from their natural habitat of the laboratory and running rampant all over the world, taking samples of anything they can find. But moving on, um, it's found to be asbestos. And I'm just wondering how you have the money to keep getting this much asbestos and pouring it in huge quantities all over this park. Or should I say section of the park?
Well, it's called budgeting. We have different portions of our finances assembled to different functions effectively, and unfortunately, there's just not quite enough money in the medical budget, whereas there is plenty of money in the entertainment budget currently. And before you ask whether we could move some over, I can't comment on that.
Okay. I won't take any comments since you just said that you can't. I'm not sure what the issue is with that. Maybe it might be a super cure side effect. I don't know. So you've got the asbestos going on in the park, all over the park. It's sort of a theme, isn't it? But sorry, the super snow. But in addition, it seems to be turning the color of the cows that you've got there in like to different colors. Ones you got like you've got yellow ones, you've got white ones, you've got grey ones, and it's going into the hair of children who are doing the super activities, as you might call them. And many people are starting to think it's dandruff. Um, and it's increased the sale of Head and Shoulders quite a bit. And some people could call this manipulation of the stock market. And how are you going to? Do you have any comments about this?
Unfortunately, these are unforeseen events. Obviously, we weren't expecting it to look like dandruff. We actually have no stock in Head and Shoulders, which is a shame because would have been great to manipulate the stock market. But we obviously didn't think of that ahead of time. So all coincidence, really. We have no connection to Head and Shoulders. If anything, rival firm, really.
A rival
We
firm.
have some workers in my laboratory that are ex Head and Shoulders employees that were rather disgruntled, basically.
Have you employed any rogue scientists coming from Head and Shoulders? You know, picked them up, sorted out their ways.
I, I wouldn't say rogue. We don't press them for ideas or anything. Obviously, they make hair products, whereas we make things that actually help people. So we just no, we just take on any hires. Weirdly though, a lot of the scientists that we take in are from Head and Shoulders. We no idea why.
I have a friend named Steve, and he works for you actually. So you would think there's bias here, but I'm trying to go unbiased with this. And my friend Steve, he works for your lab, and he tells me that he didn't even have to. He walked in, and they didn't even ask whether or not he wanted a job. They gave him one and took him in, and I haven't seen him since 2007.
As I said, we take on any hires. There is a sign outside of our offices. It says welcome, welcome, and then anyone that walks in is legally predisposed to work for us under any conditions. But it's all technicalities, really. I can assure you that all of our workers are happy and healthy, and they receive, admirable pay and great benefits.
What are you paying them in? Because it clearly isn't money, because they live there. What are you
We pay
using
them
to pay them
and
with?
shelter.
Food
Food and shelter.
and Supercure.
Obviously, we can't have our workers getting ill, can we? So
So this might be from a wrong angle, or I might be looking at it the wrong way, but you I'm anticipating that you might experience some legal trouble, yet more legal trouble, over the fact that this is kind of slave labor.
in ways, I suppose from different angles, it could be regarded as that. But I can assure you that all of our workers are free to leave whenever they please. It's just such a welcoming environment that they never wish to.
They never wished. Okay. Well, that's all my questions. Thank you for doing this interview, Bob.
It's been a pleasure.
You have 10 seconds to. Well, you've got 5 seconds. Sorry, we've downed it since the last one. 5 seconds to plug any promotions you want, and please come back, Steve.
Consume our products. They are great. They are the best. Consume, 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 consume.
All right, so that is the end of our very interesting interview with Bob Spaggard. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for tuning in every week. See you in the next one, and get spingling.